Hi, everyone, and welcome back to English in Advance. I'm your host, Jennifer, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. We're going to dive deep into something many of you ask about. It's the question I hear all the time. How can I truly speak English faster? And how do I understand native speakers when their words just fly by so quickly? It's very normal to feel this way. It's common to study grammar and learn lots of words, but then feel a bit lost when a native speaker talks at full speed. It can sound like a big, blurry mix of sounds. But please don't worry, in this episode, you will get a very clear picture and many simple, helpful ways to get better. We will even do some small practice steps together. This will help you go from learning English from books to using it easily in real conversations. So let's get ready to find out the easy secrets of natural flowing English. Let's begin by looking at why spoken English often sounds so very fast. It's usually not because we're talking super quickly. Instead, it's about the clever, natural ways that sounds and words mix together and get shorter when we talk. Imagine it like a smooth river where drops of water join to become one strong, easy flow. One big reason is connected speech. This is when words join together. In everyday English, words rarely stand alone. Instead, we link sounds between words. This happens most when one word ends with a consonant sound and the next word starts with a vowel sound. This makes a smooth bridge between them, making the flow of speech much easier. For example, think about get up. If you say each word by itself, you hear get and then up. But in natural talk, the T sound often joins to the up, sounding like G-tup. Another common example is pick it up, which smoothly becomes peaky-tup. You won't hear clear breaks between pick, it, and up. They just flow. Sometimes, even between vowel sounds, we add a tiny joining sound, like a soft I or W. For example, go out often sounds like go out, or I am can softly sound like I am. For you to understand, your ear needs to learn to hear these joined sounds, not just separate words. If you wait for each word to be perfectly clear and separate, you'll feel like you're missing things. And when you practice joining your own words, your speech will sound much more natural and smooth. This makes it sound faster without you needing to rush your thoughts. Next, we have reductions. This is when we make words softer and shorter. English uses strong forms and weak forms of words. Many common, less important words in a sentence, like small words such as to or for, or helper verbs like can or are often said very quickly, softly, and with a changed vowel sound. Their full, clear sound almost disappears. Take the word to, for example. We rarely say the full to sound. In I wanna go, it commonly becomes a quick wanna go or gotta go. The word and is very often shortened to just a softened sound. So fish and chips often becomes fish and chips. Helper verbs like could have often sound like couldy or could've, and would you often becomes would you. If you try to hear the full, clear sound of every single word, you'll get lost because native speakers use these reductions naturally to talk easily. And for your speaking, using these reductions will make you sound much more like a native speaker and natural, helping your speech flow more smoothly. Then there's elision. This is when we drop sounds completely. Sometimes a sound is left out. This happens especially when there are many consonant sounds close together. This makes it easier to say words. For instance, in last night, the T sound in last can often disappear, making it sound like last night. Also, words that start with H, like him or her, can lose their H when connected to the word before them. So, I saw him might sound like I saw him, and give her the book might become give her the book. This is another reason why single words can seem to vanish into the flow of speech. So, your brain needs to be ready to understand the meaning even if some sounds are missing. Finally, we have rhythm and stress. This is simply the beat of English. English is a stress-timed language. This means we don't spend equal time on every part of every word. We make important words like nouns, main verbs, describing words, and adverbs longer and stronger. We stress them, and we quickly say the less important words like small connection words or helper verbs softly and quickly. This creates a natural beat or rhythm. In the sentence, I want to go to the store, the strong words are want, go, and store. The words I, to, and thee are said quickly and softly. Understanding this rhythm helps you know where the main information is in a sentence. It's like listening to music. You focus on the strong beats to understand the song. And when you put stress on the right words, your own speech sounds much more natural and clear, making it easier for native speakers to understand you. So, you see, it's not magic or super speed. It's just the natural way English is spoken. And the truly wonderful news is that once you know about these very common ways of speaking, you can start training your ear to hear them and your mouth to make them. This deep understanding is your first, very powerful step towards speaking English well and naturally. Now that we've found out why native English sounds fast, let's focus on how to understand it. How do you really get what's being said when speech is fast, connected, and shortened? Here are my best ways to improve, with ideas for you to practice. First, you need to change how you listen. Don't try to hear every single word. This is a very important change in your mind. Stop trying to hear and understand every word by itself. Native speakers share meaning mostly through keywords, the important words, and the overall situation of the talk. Trying to catch every single word is like trying to understand a painting by looking only at each tiny brush stroke. You'll miss the whole picture. Instead, try to get the main ideas and the most important pieces of information. For practice, find a short, interesting audio or video clip. It could be 1 to 2 minutes long about something you enjoy, maybe a news story, a short interview, or even an English in Advance episode. On your first listen, just relax and listen for the main topic and the general feeling. Don't worry about understanding every word. Then, on your second listen, try to find just 2 or 3 keywords in each sentence that seem to carry the most important meaning. You'll be amazed at how much you can understand just by focusing on these key parts. Second, you need to put yourself in real English. Listen smartly. You've heard it many times. Listen, listen, listen. But the key is how you listen. Look for things that are made for native speakers, not just for English learners. This is where you will hear English as it's truly spoken. For practice, pick a short YouTube video, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, about something you really like. Use English captions. As you watch, really notice how the spoken words sound different from the written words. For example, you will see going to written, but hear gonna. Pause and play again parts where you notice these differences. This teaches your ear and eye at the same time. When you feel comfortable, try watching the same clip again, but this time, turn the captions off for short times, perhaps 30 seconds to a minute. See if you can still get the main idea. This helps build your confidence and make your listening skills stronger. Podcasts and radio are also very good for just listening practice because there is no picture to distract you. Start with podcasts that are about simple, everyday topics or interviews where the speakers might talk a little slower. Don't be afraid to go back and listen again if you miss something. The first goal is not to understand 100%, but to get used to the sounds and build your listening time. Third, you should actively learn and expect reductions and connected speech. Instead of being surprised by these ways of speaking, learn about them. Think of them as common shortcuts or patterns in spoken English. The more you know these patterns, the faster your brain can understand them. To practice this, find short audio clips of native speakers. You can find them from a podcast, a movie scene, or even my English in Advance episodes. Listen to one sentence or a short group of words. Really pay attention to how the words connect or get shorter. Then try to shadow the speaker. This means speaking along with them at the same time. Copy their rhythm, how their voice goes up and down, and how they connect words. Don't try to be perfect at first, just try to copy. For more direct practice, choose a short audio part, about 30 seconds. Listen carefully and try to write down exactly what you hear. Then compare what you wrote to the actual words. Where did you miss something? Was it a shortened word? A connection? This specific practice is very powerful for teaching your ear to catch particular sounds. Fourth, use the situation and guess into your benefit. Your brain is great at guessing what comes next. In natural talks, we use the words around us or context, the speaker's tone of voice, and even their body movements to guess what they might say. This helps you fill in any small gaps if you miss a word or two. To practice this, listen to a talk or someone speaking alone. Every few sentences, stop the audio. Based on what has been said, what do you think the speaker might say next? Make a guess. Then play the audio and see how close you were. This teaches your brain to actively think and guess, which makes understanding better. Finally, and this is so important, don't be afraid to ask for clarity in real talks. When you are talking with native speakers, it is perfectly fine and often helpful to ask for them to explain. Native speakers are usually happy to repeat or say what they said in a different way. This is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you are a strong learner who wants to improve. It also shows you are interested in the talk. Some helpful phrases you can use are, "Can you say that again, please? Can you repeat that more slowly? What did you mean by that word or phrase? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that." Or, "Can you explain that in another way?" Remember, good talking is a team effort. Asking for clarity is a useful skill itself and a great way to learn new things directly from a native speaker. Now, let's talk about your speaking. How can you make your English sound faster, not by rushing, but by being more natural, smooth, and sure of yourself? The answer is to use the very same ways of speaking that we just talked about for listening. First, you need to use connected speech when you talk. Once you start hearing connected speech, try to make it yourself. This will make your English sound less choppy and more like a native speaker. It also naturally makes you sound faster because there are fewer unnatural stops. To practice this, start with common, everyday phrases. Instead of saying, "I want to go," with clear breaks between words, try to join them. I want to go. Did you eat becomes did ya eat? Give it to me becomes give it to me. Practice these phrases slowly at first, making sure to blend the sounds. Focus on joining the words, and the speed will come naturally later. Another great way is reading aloud to improve flow. Take a simple part from an article, a news story, or even a script like this one. Read it aloud. As you read, actively try to connect words where a word ends with a consonant and the next begins with a vowel. Don't try to speak fast at this stage. Just focus purely on making that smooth, connected flow. Second, speak in groups of words, not one word at a time. Native speakers don't stop after every single word. They group words together that express a full idea or phrase. This creates a natural rhythm and makes your speech flow smoothly and quickly. To practice, take a sentence that is not too short. For example, I went to the store yesterday to pick up some groceries for dinner. Instead of saying, I went to the store, find the natural groups of words that form one idea. I went to the store yesterday to pick up some groceries for dinner. Practice saying these groups as single units. Pause only briefly between the groups rather than after every single word. This will make your speech sound much more natural and connected. Also, record yourself speaking a few sentences and listen back carefully. Do you hear long, unnatural stops between every word? Or are you grouping your ideas together naturally? Find parts where you can put words into smoother thought groups. Third, focus on English voice patterns and stress. Where you put strong sound or stress in a sentence can change its meaning and make your speech sound much more natural. In English, we stress the important words and quickly glide over the less important words. To practice, take a simple sentence like, I like to eat apples. Now say it 5 times. Make a different word stronger each time, and notice how the meaning changes a little. I like to eat apples means I do, maybe someone else doesn't. I like to eat apples means I really enjoy them. I like to eat apples means I want to eat them, not just look at them. And I like to eat apples means apples specifically, not oranges or bananas. Another great way is to listen and copy. Listen closely to a native speaker telling a short story or explaining something. Try to find exactly which words they stress. Then, try to tell the same story or explanation yourself, trying to copy their stress patterns. This will greatly improve your natural rhythm. Fourth, record yourself because you can be your best teacher. This is truly one of the most effective ways to make your speaking better. Hearing yourself clearly helps you find speaking habits you might not even know you have, both good ones and ones that need work. For practice, keep a daily audio diary. Every single day, record a short 1 to 2 minute audio of yourself. Talk about your day, your plans, your thoughts, or anything that comes to mind. After you record, listen back. Don't just listen for grammar or word mistakes. Instead, really listen for parts where you could connect words more smoothly, where you could shorten sounds, or where your rhythm feels a little unnatural. You are your own best teacher, and you will start to notice great improvements over time. Finally, and this is so important, embrace not being perfect and just focus on talking. The biggest problem to speaking faster and more naturally is often fear. Fear of making a mistake, fear of not being understood, fear of sounding wrong. But please remember, the main goal of language is communication, not perfection. And guess what? Native speakers make mistakes too. Your speaking will get much better faster if you are willing to speak, even if you feel it's not perfect. Focus on making your message clear. The more you speak, the more your mouth and brain get used to it, the more confident you become, and the more naturally your speech will flow and speed up. Think of it as building a new language habit, one talk, one practice time at a time. The effort is worth it. That's all for today on English in Advance. If this detailed episode was truly helpful for you, please show your support by hitting that like button, sharing this video with anyone who is learning English, and of course, subscribing to the channel so you never miss our next helpful lesson. And now, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. After listening to this, what is one new way or idea you are most excited to try in your English practice? I read every one of your comments. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep improving your English. Bye for now.